Hello everyone, welcome back to the fourth part series of our Appwrite tutorial. Today we are going to take a look at Appwrite Storage, right? How we can create our first bucket, upload and also download our files. So the first step in here is to create a bucket. So we need to visit our storage and create a new bucket. So in my Appwrite console, you search for the storage and need to create a bucket. So the name of the bucket in here is going to be profiles. That's going to take in our profiles. So I hit on the create button. So you can see an ID is automatically assigned to the profiles. And the next step in here, we need to navigate to the settings and give some permissions, right? By setting it to be create and read. So on the settings page, the permissions over here, we can allow anybody to have access to create and also read any information. So we can update that. And down over here, you can choose the extensions of the file. So we are going to accept JPG and also PNG in here and update that as well. So the next step is to create a file, right? So to do that, we first of all need to initialize our storage, passing the client, then we make use of our storage to create a new file. So let's do that. So within my Flutter project over here, I will bring in my storage, which is from Appwrite. Then we need to pass that and pass in the client. So once we have our storage, we can pass down to my app and record that in the constructor of my app as well. Then below over here, we can create our storage. So my app has access to the storage right now, so you can pass down to my home. There we go. So we're going to do something similar by also requiring that in the constructor of home page. So the next step in here is to pick an image or upload an image, and to do that we need to make use of one of these popular package. That's the image picker, right? So I'll install the image picker with the command flutter pap add image picker, and I'll install my image picker. So once you have successful installation over here, I'll be creating a variable that will hold our image path. That's going to be string, which can be null. And down over here, I'm going to create a function where we can make use of it to pick an image, right? So the function name is going to be future, and the return type is going to be an X file. Then the function name is going to be pick image. So in picking the image, we need to take in the image source. So I'll pass the image source to the function as a parameter. So in our function, we are going to create a variable picker and create an instance of the image picker. Then we can make use of the picker to pick the image and pass in the source. So we can finally return our picked file, which come in the form of the X file. So the next function is to upload the image in here. So I'll be creating a function that is going to return a boolean, and the function name is going to be upload image. So it's going to be an asynchronous function, and in this function, I'll be creating a file where we call the function to pick the image. So initially, I'll assign the image source to be a gallery. Then check for the file if it's not equal to null. So if the file is equal to null, we can throw an exception. You can throw an exception in here that's no file selected. So in here, we're going to have try catch where we await and call our storage, right? So widget.storage.create file. So in creating a file, it requires the bucket ID, the file ID, and the actual file. So with the bucket ID, when you check our console, the profile bucket we created, you can have access to the ID And within my app config over here, I will be passing the bucket ID over here as part of my configuration. So the name in here is going to be storage bucket ID. So we can pass the bucket ID over here as app config the storage bucket ID, and we need to pass in the file ID, which we are going to create it uniquely, right, using the id.unique, and also the file. So with the file, it's going to be input file.from path. Then we can pass in the file path just like this and saving the changes. So once we've created our file, we can also handle the exception over here with Appwrite exception. Then we can print the message and return false for that case. And below over here, we can update our image path by setting a state and assigning the file path to the image path variable we created earlier. And finally, we can return true for successful creation or uploading of a file in here. So this is a functionality in uploading the image. We pick an image and pass in the source to be a gallery. So we can just get rid of this null check since we know that we are actually going to have this file. Make use of the storage and create a file and pass in the ID of that bucket, and also uniquely create an ID for the file ID and pass in the file path and update the image path in here. So where are you going to implement this functionality? It's going to be found within the app bar, right? The actions, and the actions place the widget at the very end of the app bar. So in the app bar, we are going to have an icon button. We have the unpressed and also the icon. So the icon, we are going to return a circle avatar. And the child of this circle avatar is going to be the person icon, right? So we can pass an icons dot person. And also the impress of this button is going to show a modal sheet to choose the source of the image, right? So with the show modal sheet function, it takes in the context and also a builder. And the builder in here takes in the context where we can return our widget. And we are going to return the column widget, and in this column, we are going to set the main axis size of this column to be main axis size dot minimum here. And in the children of this column, we are going to have two list styles, right? And the first list style is going to take a leading. The leading is going to display an icon, and the icon name in here is going to be the camera icon. We are also going to have a title of this list style, and the title is going to be take a photo. Then finally, we can have on top to this file where we can actually call our function to pick the image and also pop off the modal sheet, right? So I'll be repeating one more list style and changing the leading over here to be the photo album. That's when you decide to choose from your gallery, and also changing the title in here as well. So the title is going to be changed to gallery as well, and yeah, the image source is going to be gallery. So we can actually assign the results of picking the image to a file variable in here. Then we can call our upload image function. You can just get rid of this function, and also within the gallery, we can also call our upload image function over here. Yeah, and that's basically it. And also we want to show the image over here. So we are going to base on the image path and check if that's not equal to null. I'm going to render the actual image. If it's null, we are going to render the icon. So let's change the condition over here to be if the image path is equal to null, we are going to render the person icon, else we are going to return the clip over widget, which we can pass in the image.file, then pass in the file, then we can pass in our image path. So this file is actually coming from the .io import, so make sure we have that imported. So we're going to import the .io, and this .io is going to be as IO, so we can differentiate it from the one coming from the Appwrite. And over here we are going to use io.file. There we go, you can see the error is gone. So let's pass some width and height to this clip over. We are going to pass a width of 50, a height of 50, and also set a fit to be box fit dot cover. Yeah, so I think we have our functionality done. All we need to do here is to run and test the app. So basically, in uploading the image, we initially set the source to be a gallery and make use of the storage to create a file, passing the bucket ID, the file ID, and also the file path. Then we show a button sheet to choose between the image source and pass the function accordingly, right? So that's basically it over here. Let's run and test the app. Yeah, so I'll bring in my emulator in here and run it. There we go. So over here you can see our small avatar with a person icon. So when you click on that, you can see you can choose to upload an image. So I'll go and choose this image, and there we go, we can see it's reflected. So let's check our console and see if we indeed have the image in here. So when you refresh the console, you can see our image, which comes in the form of JPEG. Yeah, and that's basically it. See you in the last tutorial. Until then, stay tuned.